And Lucas kissed me. I don't know why I did not pull back. I don't know why I did not stop it. One thing led to another, and I had sex with Lucas. The next day, I woke up and found him gone, and he had left a note on my bed. Not apologetic at all, but saying that he wanted more, and he wanted to get to know me better. He wanted something more than just sex. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to respond to that message. I didn't know how to respond to how I was feeling because I was overwhelmed with guilt. I was a wife and my husband was home. He had paid for me to be here, and this is what I was doing. My husband wanted to start a family with me, and this is what I was doing away from home. I cried the next day. I don't remember ever crying that much, but I was just so angry with myself. I beat myself up a lot. The following days I just kept dodging and avoiding Lucas. I knew what time he came back from his course, from his class. I knew what time he left, so I avoided him like a plague. I spent more time at school and came back to my room late because I did not want to have to run into him. I found several notes at my door saying he wanted to talk to me. There were messages on my Facebook saying he wanted to talk about what had happened, but I didn't know how to face him and how to deal with what had just happened. And on top of that, I was worried. Should I tell my husband? Should I tell John or not? And if I didn't tell him, what if he found out one day? And if I told him, would he forgive me? Would he want to still be married to me? So many questions just kept going on in my head. So one day when I came back from school, a few days later, I opened my door, and there in my house was John. You know how I told you John loves to surprise me even without, for some reason I just never ever knew what he was up to. So apparently all these fights that we'd been having over the past weeks had really affected him, and he wanted to come in person and see how we can work things out. He was right there, smiling and happy to see me, and it's weird, but after all those weeks of fighting, seeing John, seeing a familiar face was just what I needed. I was so happy. I was so happy. I was so happy. He had made dinner for me. He was just so sweet. He was apologetic about what had happened the past few weeks. And I told him I had stopped taking the pill because that's what he wanted. And he was happy. I wasn't happy inside, but I was doing it for him. I just wanted him to be happy. I wanted us to be happy. So John spent the whole month in the Netherlands with me. That was one of the best months of my life. I went to school in the morning, came back and found dinner already made. He would take me out, would go out and tour the city over the weekends. He would, he made my life really easy. He did all the shopping for everything that we needed in the house, and everything was just perfect. One day, as we're coming back from one of our trips outside, we entered the hallway of the flat that I lived, and we ran into Lucas. And Lucas came over to me, hugged me, and said, "Why have you been avoiding me?"